Hey, good day, and welcome to Collaboration Wednesday, brought to you by the Grunin Foundation. I'm Jeremy Grunin. I'm the president of the Grunin Foundation, and I am fortunate enough to be joined by Ken Malagiere. He is the executive director of the Ocean County College Foundation, which, of course, is experiencing a difference in life right now, from not only a college life standpoint, but also from a fundraising standpoint. So Kenny, first of all, thank you so much for joining us. Welcome.
Thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure to be with you today.
Good. So Kenny, tell us a little bit. Tell us how life has changed at OCC. I mean, some of them are pretty obvious, but why don't you go through it? What's different about the day-to-day?
Well, certainly day-to-day has changed pretty dramatically. There are no college personnel on campus. And we have not been reported to campus since the middle of March. But what is so different, of course, is having the opportunity to interact with students, but it all be virtual. And our interaction via email or through Zoom calls has really changed the way not only that we do business as a foundation, but how we interact with our colleagues and also the students that ultimately we are there to serve. So it has changed in every way. For instance, our graduating awards, which have all been awarded for this current semester, whether you were graduated in December or just now, they are going to be awarded virtually on June the 16th, and that will coincide with our virtual commencement. So all of these students that we've been together and growing together and knowing each other for these few years, we got to say goodbye, albeit virtually.
And so Kenny, you're one of those folks who really thrives on interpersonal connection, right? I think you're a kind of a warm, fuzzy guy who likes to be able to sit down at lunch with someone and talk through different scenarios or talk through different opportunities. I know we have a lot of folks that watch this who are in the nonprofit world. Talk for a second about how you've had to pivot your fundraising skills and your because you still have to raise money for the college, right? That doesn't stop.
Absolutely.
So what are you doing differently?
And what we've done is we've really leaned into more of what we've done in the past and what many successful organizations have done, absent a handshake or a hug. I'm a hugger, but in this world, the second best thing is a handwritten note. And so we've doubled down on our happy birthday and thank you cards and really reaching out to those who we know might be either alone in this time or who have been friends of the foundation for so long, or even new friends of the foundation, and literally checking in, whether that's with a phone call, an email, a handwritten note. As I said, that's my new version of a handshake and a hug. I've always been a big fan of handwritten notes, but they do make an impact for all of our friends in the nonprofit world. I think we all know that. And even more so now, it's that new form of that, back to that old form of personal touch.
Right. Okay. So, well, that's great. And I think you're probably building some new muscles that you didn't know you had before, and maybe some new behaviors that'll carry on well into when the world returns to quote unquote normalcy, whatever that looks like.
Absolutely. I certainly have my favorite pens. That's for sure. Yeah.
That's good. So, this is about collaboration. Yeah. And I think with an organization like yours, collaboration takes two forms, right? So collaboration takes the form of internal collaboration on a big college campus, and collaboration takes the form of external collaboration, which is partners outside of the campus footprint. So talk to me first. How have you had to further collaborate with your partners on campus? And maybe what have been some things that have been different, or some folks that you normally maybe wouldn't have had as much interaction with that now you're really kind of leaning on a regular basis?
So absolutely. And so our foundation really started to addressing acute needs of our students a few years ago with the establishment of the SURF Fund, the Student Emergency Relief Fund. And that really got to some of the crux of why some of our students were having difficulty successfully completing classes or a given semester. And that's because their needs were far beyond scholarship support, tuition, and books. And what this this actual global pandemic, it's shown a really bright light on the fact that there are a lot more of those students than perhaps were willing to raise their hands before. So we have really turned to those that we were working with, whether it's the care folks at Ocean County College. So that's the good people in the psychology department and sociology, and those that are really on the front lines interacting with the students who can actually, throw up that red flag quickly and be able to ensure that we can address those needs. The other opportunities, as Jackson is barking wildly in the background,
you keep going. Listen, this is part of the world now with interactive and remote. Yeah, okay. You have a dog. His name is Jackson. He barks a lot. It's okay. Go ahead.
So hopefully he won't bark over me too much. But so it's really embracing those opportunities that we as a foundation have to make a real impact on our student body, whether they're traditional or non-traditional students alike. And one of the ways that we've really deepened that is with our partnership with Fulfill. That relationship has deepened through this pandemic. They were a tremendous partner of the college and our Helping Hands food pantry. But Fulfill, and I know Kim was on your program a few weeks ago, has an uncanny way, and they've been serving our community for decades, of doing all the good that they do 1,000 more times better in these amazing times that are trying all of us. And they just seemingly from nowhere are able to ramp up in just multiples and be there for our community. So we're so very proud that we have that relationship with Fulfill, that we were able to pick up the phone and call Linda Kellner and say, we have 50 students and their families who need help in crisis boxes. And the next day they arrived. Those are the real heroes of not only this pandemic, but all crises that were faced in the past, and of course will again in the future.
Yeah, you bring up a good point, and it's sad in a lot of ways, which is that I don't think folks think about the amount of food insecurity that happens, especially on our community colleges. Yeah. These are oftentimes folks that are going back to school to better their lives, to better their pays, or may not have necessarily been able to afford some four-year institutions. And so come to community college because they, frankly, at Ocean County College can get a 4-year degree, through partnerships for a reasonable amount of money. But they also come to college with the opportunity cost of not being able to work those hours and earn income for their families, which is then compounded by the fact that in the society as we know it today, with so many jobs being eliminated or being furloughed, now they really have no income coming in. And so the food insecurity is through the roof. And OCC has the ability, as you talked about, to be able to be that kind of clearinghouse for the food, to get those folks fed and those families fed while they're still receiving a great education.
That's a tremendous point. And also thanks to the generosity, and speaking of just those folks that are on the front lines and coming to a community college and those that we're serving, the generosity of the Herrera and Anna Hovnanian Foundation's gift to our health sciences just a couple of years ago has allowed us to fund students that are in the continuing professional education programs, those CPE. Those are the students, traditional and non-traditional alike, that are coming back to the community college, getting a certificate so that they can move up, often in an hourly wage atmosphere where that is the difference between $15, $20, and $25 an hour. And yet they are the ones that are most vulnerable and might not be able to attend those classes for those certificates absent additional help.
Great. So outside of Fulfill, other partnerships throughout the community that you wanted to talk about, or other folks that you're working with now on campus or beyond to meet the needs of our communities?
Sure. So as of January, I guess the most glaring or the most obvious would be certainly the vocational school, which now is set up on the campus of Ocean County College for their Performing Arts Academy, just opened in January. They are serving a great bit of our community, the young people, some of the most talented artists that we have here in Ocean County, who are able to attend that school now at Ocean County College. But we are always deepening our relationships, specifically with the library and the Library Foundation, as we are able to provide educational opportunities, not only for the students of Ocean County College, which of course is our mission to serve, but also those educational, intellectual opportunities for our entire community. So we work with them on our Blauvelt speaker series. We're very proud to say that series will continue, albeit virtually in the fall, and we'll bring those guest speakers, those signature speakers back when we are able, live at the J. and Linda Grunden Center for the Arts. But we will absolutely continue to deepen those partnerships and relationships through our foundation.
Great. Kenny, and I don't want to put you on the spot if you haven't announced all of this yet, but talk to me a little bit about virtual plans for summer and beyond. I mean, where are we? What is the college announced? What can you share with us around how education is going to look for the foreseeable future?
Sure. So Dr. John Larson shared with our foundation board last week and notes from the Secretary of Higher Education in New Jersey that really, absent a vaccine or successful antibodies test, we are looking at, well, certainly all of the summer programs and all of the summer courses are remote. And we are looking at the likelihood of most, if not all, of the fall programs also being held remotely, save some labs that can be done safely with social distancing and the like. But it really just makes responsible sense to move forward whenever you're in an organization with many thousands of people that clearly, absent that vaccine or clearer guidance on this pandemic, that we are looking at a new world where we're not all together again come this fall, which gives a great opportunity to our community, presents itself a great opportunity for students, whether they are thinking about not going back to that dorm lifestyle, to sign up for classes at Ocean County College for $175 a credit, books and fees included. You can receive a really superior remote education that the college itself, Ocean County College, has really led the way for many, many years, and they are an award-winning institution for remote learning.
And so just to be clear, when you talk about $175 a credit, there is obviously also financial aid available, correct? I mean, that's one of the tenets of the foundation, yeah?
Correct. So, and that is without any federal or state support or foundation support. So if you are thinking that you would like to enroll in classes at Ocean County College, you should absolutely be filling out our online application for our scholarship support. And those scholarships will be made available to any student who has over a 2.0 GPA and is an Ocean County College resident and completes the 2020 FAFSA.
And I'm sorry, and pardon my ignorance, but don't I remember free community college in New Jersey? What happened? What happened there?
Well, that still does exist, and that is a state aid program. New Jersey does offer that, but that is only available to students whose family income is below $65,000 a year. And also, it is not available to every student. There are certain clearing criteria that excludes some students, certainly.
Great. I'm going to put you on the spot one more time. So I know you and every nonprofit are grappling with the loss of revenues by of events, right? So typically you have a gala in the summer. You have a golf outing. I think it's September or somewhere around there, right?
October.
And so October. You know, I'm big on golf outings, so I really it doesn't register in my book. So how are you contemplating replacing that revenue, kind of offsetting that revenue? I mean, what are you doing personally? Because I know nonprofits are all grappling with this.
We are as well, and of course, all of our much needed dollars go directly to the students of Ocean County. So we are focused on having a campaign and virtual event this August the 7th. That will lead up to what would traditionally have been our summer scholarship celebration held in June. We will be soliciting the community and our partners and supporters as we have before, but doing so in a campaign style that will culminate in a special that we hope folks are going to tune into, perhaps have watch parties. They'll challenge each other and hopefully be comfortable poolside or deckside or with a cocktail in hand. And we'll be able to raise some funds for our students. But one of the more important things that we really felt very strongly about as a foundation going into this as the crisis was unfolding was we are in a very fortunate situation at the college and the foundation where we receive support from so many generous folks and through the years since 1964. And there are organizations who are truly on the front lines living out their missions each and every day. And those folks really do deserve the spotlight. Now, we're trying hard to raise funds and awareness for our foundation all the time. But those organizations that are truly leading the way, those organizations that are living this moment day in and day out, need your support. They need our support. We need to be there for them first. And we know that they'll be there for our foundation when we need them in the future.
Great. You have Jackson barking in the background, and I have teenage girls walking into the house. So, and I would just want to clarify, those would be socially distant watch parties, correct?
Yes, up to 25 in your own backyard.
Right, and they still should be 6 feet apart or wearing a mask. Just want to make sure we're clear. We don't want to.
That is the current guideline. Yes.
Right. So, Kenny, I'm going to give you the final word here. Well, your final word anyway. I always get the final word in this particular. It is our series after all. Right. What would you tell the tens of thousands of folks that are going to be watching this on social media? What's the message you would want to leave them with as they're working through these times, and that would be Ocean County College focused?
Yes. Well, for the 10 good people that will watch this, including my mother, I would like to just say that the college, the greatest challenge that we're going to face is where we need to be next, where we need to be for our students in 2022 and 24 and beyond. And our foundation is going to be there. We need your support so that we can make that promise and follow through to fruition. But we're going to be there to support the students in that new learning reality. And learning is very different than going to class online. And that's where we need to be. We need to be in a place where we're going to be offering a quality, affordable education right here on the New Jersey shore, as we have since 1964. And we're going to continue to do so in a brave new world and in a brave new way.
Kenny Malagiere, Executive Director of the Ocean County College Foundation. Kenny, I just want to say you're such a breath of fresh air, especially relative to your predecessor. I mean, you do an amazing job. I really think that you've taken the college to a whole new level. All kidding aside, obviously our own Heather Barberi was the Executive Director of the Ocean County College Foundation before you, and I'm obviously just poking fun at her because she's muted and she can't say anything. Yeah. So thank you again, Kenny. I'm sure I will see you soon. Hopefully I'll see you at an event where we can, fist bump or something that is socially responsible. Thank you all again for joining us today and for all you do for our community, Kenny. And of course, stay tuned for next week's Collaboration Wednesday. Again, I'm Jeremy Grunin of the Grunin Foundation. Have a great week and be safe, okay? Thank you.